Hi, welcome to another edition of Vicarious Travels. Harpa Concert Hall is the jewel in the crown for Reykjavik in Iceland. It is a magnificent and beautiful architecture. It's a national concert hall where they host all the important shows and musics. It's a beautiful and wonderful architecture. It's built to reflect the volcanic landscape of Iceland. Iceland has got volcanoes everywhere, and this architecture is built to reflect the volcanic rocks of Iceland. So naturally, Icelanders are very proud of this concert hall, and that shows in the flags flying outside the building. It is truly a magnificent building, and it's beautiful, it's elegant, and it's magnificent, and yet everything comes together to portray the concept of volcano, which is the background of Iceland, which is the story of Iceland, and the architect has succeeded in bringing all those features together and create a aesthetically pleasing and beautiful, elegant structure. Iceland is full of volcanoes, and in the recent past it had violent eruptions everywhere in Iceland. When the molten lava, when it cools down, in an hexagonal shaped rocks, which you can see here. If you look closer at the rocks and at the background, you can all see they're all in columns and they're all shaped in hexagonal shape. And so these architectures are built to reflect these rocks, and the shape of the hexagonal shape repeat itself in their design. The famous church of Reykjavik, Allgrímskirkja, is also is another attempt to portray the volcanic rocks and landscapes of Iceland in a different way. But the principle is the same. This is to portray the hexagonal shape of the volcanic basalt rocks when they cool. And then this hexagonal shape keeps repeating itself in every area. These are some more street views as I started walking towards the Harpa Concert Hall from the old harbor. Then I came across this old abandoned Saab, an antique car now. Saab itself has gone out of business about five years ago. They used to make these quirky cars, but the cars are designed for a high end of the market. And I took some photographs, and as I was taking the photographs, this lovely and pleasant lady with a beautiful smile turned up and started speaking to me, and she said this car has been abandoned for a number of perhaps months now, and she is an Icelander, and she does jewelry. She makes her own jewelry for sales. And then she said she lives in the van just parked next to the car, and you can see the lady and the van background. She's quite mobile, so she moves around to different markets. And yeah, it was a lovely to meet somebody locally and have a chat. Finally, after about 10 minutes walk from the old harbor, I made it into an half an hour really. So I arrived to this beautiful building. You can see how lovely it is to look at. It's lots of glass and enormous steel structures all put together to portray the hexagonal shapes of the volcanic rocks, and you can see the hexagonal shapes here, which repeats itself. It's a beautiful sight to behold, really. First, I went to see this show, How to Become an Icelander in 16 Minutes. It's a stand-up comedian show. He explained about, in a funny way, how the Icelanders go about their daily lives, the way they talk, the way they walk, and the stories they tell and everything. Then he certifies you by the end of 1 hour that you have become an Icelander. Now, after seeing this show, after becoming an Icelander, then I went to the next show. Now, having become officially an Icelander, I went to the next stage of learning about the Icelandic sagas in this show. These two magnificent actors put up a beautiful and funny show explaining about all the Icelandic sagas. The sagas are mainly moral stories and fictional stories and historical stories. Apparently they have thousands of them. So this is a show trying to make sense of all the sagas and what to look for, what not to look for, and it's beautifully enacted, and it's 1 hour well spent watching this show.
Okay, so we have actually another outlaw saga about blood brothers.
Yes, and hold your horses, it's called The Saga of the Blood Brothers. And you two mix blood like this, and then you mix blood like this, and it's a sensual blood mixing ceremony.
So, the Justins, they are mixing blood. And Kristni and Trump are mixing blood. And guys, they were not.
As you can see here, they also encourage the audience to take part in it. Now you can see 3 of our audiences are acting as well. It was very lovely to watch and enjoyable, really. Mr. Olafur Eliasson is the chief designer and the architect, and Harpa seemed to be his brainchild. And his main aim states in the website, Eliasson deploys light, color, and natural phenomena to test how physical movement, sensual engagement, and the interaction of body and the brain influence our perception of our surroundings. He seemed to be experimenting with the perception of our brain about our surroundings, and in that he definitely succeeded in creating a wonderful, spacious, and sumptuous architecture where the atmosphere and the space interacts together to provide a very comfortable experience when you come out of the show during intermissions, and it instantly relaxes you, and then you can go back to the next part of the show after having been fully relaxed of being inside this huge spacious atrium. Had a lovely day, watched some beautiful shows, enjoyed the visit to the Harpa, and when I came out of in the evening, the sky was beautiful. It was got this wonderful reddish hue with the golden background, and when you see a red sky in Iceland, it is a tourist delight, because next day morning it's going to be clear sky and a clear day with no rains.